Welcome to Acclimatize with me. That's what we're calling this. Episode 1 with Ranger Tommy. Are we allowed to call you Ranger Tommy?
That's cool.
Was that like your
It-
nickname in high school by chance?
Oh man, I didn't really have a nickname in high school.
I guess that's good and bad. Some people
Yeah,
get
I mean, dude,
bad.
my graduating class is 66. It was like so tiny. It was literally
Wow.
one hallway. So funny thing is, the name of my school is Math and Science Academy. I don't really care about math or science, so like I majored in history, so it's like, man, I really dropped the ball on that. But it is what it is.
Yeah,
You
for sure.
know.
Gotcha. All right. Well, hey, cheers, Ranger Tommy. Thank you for being part of the very first podcast that I've ever done. And you know what? Here's the deal with this whole thing is you actually inspired me to do this.
Uh-oh.
It was never really an idea that you were like, hey, you should do a podcast with me. It was when I met you, I was like, man, cool. Like I met a park ranger. Like, this is awesome. Like some people meet some like celebrities and they have them in their circle of friends. I have nobody until I met you. Then I'm like, man, I got a park ranger here. Like, so this is cool. So then I thought, man, it'd be great to interview you one day. And then I thought, well, why don't I just interview other cool people and make it a thing? So you're the first person. You inspired me, and I'm excited to interview you and see where this goes. Cool. All right, so let's dive into the serious questions that I know everybody wants to know. Would you rather be 4'7" or 7'7"?
Probably 7'7".
Okay, so now if you're 7'7", what do you see it doing in your life? Like what has changed now? Like what would you have a new career? Would you, I don't know, what would be different now?
Bro, I'd probably be in the NBA or in the NFL.
Nice.
Then again, it'd be really hard to drive a vehicle.
So your biggest concern about being 7'7" is driving.
That sounds like a hassle trying to squeeze into a vehicle.
Yeah. Okay. Good answer. I love it. Would you rather have to announce to everybody when you were about to fart, or that you just have to pee your pants daily?
How bad of a fart is it?
Let's say some days it's a 1, and other days it's get me the heck out of here, 25, level 25.
Oh man.
But I mean, you would have to you whoever's around you in your presence, you're like, hey, I have to fart. I mean, what? Or you just pee your pants daily, and that's just something you deal with.
I guess the pee your pants thing give me an excuse to make me want to shower more, I guess.
So I have a question that's popped into my mind. Rangers hygiene, are they like, what's that like? Is it like the clean cut, they're showering every day, or is it like they kind of just Febreze their entire body and interact with the public? What's the deal there?
Uh did you smell me at all? No, I mean just like a normal day life. I mean, the job that I had, like just like a normal regular day person. You do your daily showers or whatever. So there's others that aren't able to, but I was able to. So
Why would there
yeah.
be some Rangers that aren't able to shower?
They're working in the backcountry and they don't have access
Oh,
to it.
true. Okay. Yeah, those guys. I've definitely come across those guys working in the trail, and yeah, they're friendly, but you just want to keep your distance because
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like they've been out there for too long in the sweat. But okay, so let's dive into you actually being Ranger Tommy. I'm real excited about this. What made you want to be a park ranger?
The interviews are just really easy. You don't have to dress up. You can they're just phone interviews, so you can just be in bed, wake up, and just be ready for it. You get to travel different places. I've been to 2 parks already. I'm gonna be at my 3rd, hopefully next month. You meet a lot of different people. Some of them are cool. Some of them are like, "Whoa, what are you doing here?" But I mean, yeah, and you meet people from all over the world, which is really awesome.
That's cool. So, as a kid, did you want to be a park ranger? Was that a thing?
Nope. I thought I was gonna be an actor. I thought I
Really?
had a lot of different ideas what I was gonna do. Oh yeah.
See, it's sad. I kind of had this idea that you've always wanted to be a park ranger, and like I kind of pictured you as a little kid, and all your friends are like, "Let's play cops
Well,
and robbers. Let's play cops and robbers." And you're like, "No,
sorry to disappoint.
let's play rangers and visitors." We'll let it
I
slide.
also thought I was gonna be a history teacher, but yeah, it didn't happen either. So I mean, I'm not complaining. Like life has brought me where I am, so I'm cool with it.
I guess when I think about it, though, you're kind of like all three of those things in a way. Like, because I have interacted with you, you are an extremely funny and talented person, a great storyteller, which is kind of like acting. And you work in the park, so you can tell the history of the park. And so, yeah, you kind of got the best of all three worlds, I'd say. Bet you never thought of it like that, right?
Not really. Not until now.
Well, I hope I just changed your life. I really do. Okay, so we are back. Had to move locations because my internet sucks because I live in the middle of nowhere. So while I was moving, though, I did find this for you. It says "Together We Can." It's a little koozie from a place called Half Full Brewery. So I'm going to send this to you as a gift for your
Where's
time.
that brewery from?
I don't know. I just found it in the dirt. So like I literally
Oh,
just found it.
okay.
Uh, and I found it like outside of a bathroom. So maybe
Um,
whatever. I have hand sanitizer. I'm good. But
alright,
I'll wash
cool.
it. I'll send it to you, just as a token of my appreciation. What is the dumbest thing a park visitor has ever asked you?
Do you work here? Like with my flat hat on and
Full on you.
uniform and all?
Do you work here? And what do they want to know?
Do I work here?
Well, when you said yes, or maybe I don't know. Knowing you, you might have just said no. But when you said yes,
Oh,
what
I
they
did
want?
not say yes. I just looked at them and I was continuing the conversation with the other visitor.
Okay.
I didn't even answer their question.
Wow. Sad.
Yeah.
So that's funny because I always tell people, hey, if you see a ranger, feel free to talk to them. They're super friendly. They'll help you out. I
I
guess
mean, yeah, I'll be friendly. Just don't be an idiot. I also had this one girl ask me, "Is that real snow on the mountain?" And I'm like, "All right, maybe she's from the south. Maybe she's never seen the snow before." And I was like, "Where are you from?" And she was like, "New York." And I was like, "What do you think it is?" You know, I was
yeah,
like, "That's sand." You know, like the government put it there for your enjoyment.
yeah, yeah.
That's why you got to pay to go into the park.
That's nice. That's really nice. Well, yeah, there's dumb people out there. Another question that I kind of had is like, what is something like us normal people, that go to the parks to visit? What is something that we can do to make your job better?
Have a reservation if you're going to be camping. Don't ask if there's any spots available because the answer is going to be no.
Yeah.
And if you're cool, maybe I'll let you stay at my house. But if you're ugly, just like leave. We don't
Wow.
even want to see you.
So for you, it's either you're cool or you're ugly.
Yeah.
That's so. Where do I land in that? If I showed up no reservation, am I
Oh man, you could have totally crashed at my place.
love it? Right on. Is there anything else that we could do to make your jobs better as rangers?
Uh, yeah. If you don't think you should do it at home, probably don't do it at the park. Just
That's good. Yeah.
don't be an idiot. Basically, just try to follow the rules, and the rules are fairly basic. Just stay on the trails. Don't mess with animals.
Do you see that often? Like people messing with the animals?
More or less, sadly, sad to say. When I worked at the park that I worked at 2 years ago, I heard that a visitor sprayed bear spray with a bear spray at a moose, and I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. First of all, like that's illegal to have it in the park that I worked at, and secondly, like a moose is not going to attack you. Like I wish it did. Like I wish it did attack that person,
Yeah,
but
that
like,
person should have been mauled. So you bring up
yeah,
something interesting. A lot, and so I get this, because I guide in the parks and you work in the parks. Bear spray. People talk about that all the time. They don't know that it's illegal. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that people want to bring bear spray all the time? Is it just
They think it's protection. Uh, I could understand like if you're hiking alone and you don't have sorry,
that the
you don't have
coronavirus?
anything on you, like I could see how it could give you comfort, but like just talk to yourself, make some noise, like clap, whistle, like just make
Yeah,
sure that you're out there, you're making noise so that like critters around you are aware that you are there. You don't
yeah,
want to have a bear be surprised that you're there, or vice versa. So like, yeah, usually when I'm hiking by myself, I'll sing like some songs.
favorite song to
Nothing
sing?
crazy, but
What's your favorite song to sing?
Rebecca Black, man.
Friday, huh? It's Friday, Friday.
7 a.m. waking up in the morning, gotta be fresh, gotta
Oh,
go
dude.
downstairs, gotta have my bowl, gotta have cereal, seeing everything the time is ticking on and on. Everybody's rushing. Gotta get down to the bus stop. Gotta catch my bus. I'll see my friends. Yeah, man.
I did not expect that. That's awesome. What's like the stiffest penalty you've heard of somebody getting for something?
Yosemite last year, food violation. Someone got like what? It was like $150 ticket.
What they do? Food
They didn't
violation, you
store
said?
their yeah, they didn't store their food properly. So
Yeah, good. I'm glad you guys sided them. I see that all the time. People just like have the coolers out and nonsense and all that stuff. So, is there something you want to say to the public as far as like when you get into the campground, what you do with your food?
just make sure it's with arm's reach. If not, store it in the bear bin.
Yeah, the bear bins. How many people do you think? Like, how many bodies do you think could fit in a single bear bin? If you were to guess.
Are we talking about 7'7" or
Ooh,
4'7"?
let's say they are an average height. Well, let's say they're all 5 foot. Okay, let's just go with my height. I'm 5'6". Yeah, I'm short. I don't care. How many 5'6" bodies can you fit in a bear bin?
And the bigger ones, I said if you're really trying, I think you could do four.
Nice. I think that's pretty. I personally have been in a bear bin. I don't know if you've ever seen my video where I bust out of a bear bin, but I've been in. Pretty
I have
cool.
not. I'm glad you got out.
I did. I did. It was all for some stupid movie we made, but yeah, I guess you probably shove 4 5'6" bodies in there. All right. Um, moving on. As a kid, is there something that you did that you thought was a super genius idea, but looking back, it was pretty stupid? All right, I take it there's a couple.
Yeah, when I was younger, used to be scared sleeping by myself, right? So
Okay.
had these little, the green army toy soldier
Yeah, yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah.
I would put them under my bed, and I would like talk to them, like circle them up and be like, "All right, guys, I'm about to go to sleep. You got to protect me."
Hold the line. Hold the line.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, that's less embarrassing than mine. Mine is I went to school in Colorado. I think I was like second grade, and it was recess time, and I had to pee. But the teachers would never let you go inside to pee during recess for whatever reason. So I was like, you know what I'll do is I'll just lay on my stomach in the snow, and I'll just pee my pants, and the snow will take care of the pee, and I'm good. That that's what I did. All right. Now the
Wow.
question, yeah. So I know you probably think less of me, but so I get this question a lot, and I'm sure you do too, and you're about to get it again. What's the scariest thing that you personally have seen or you've heard of in one of the parks you worked in?
One time I was hiking in Rocky, and I was hiking by myself, and I got within 10 feet from a moose. People are always scared of black bears, like,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I know.
for sure, but like a moose is like so much bigger than a bear, and I
Yeah.
got within 10 feet of it, and
Wow.
I was like, wow, that was terrifying.
Yeah.
What I did was just like take a step back, hide behind the tree, so like just start praying, you know, like
Yeah, no,
what else am I
I get it,
supposed to
yeah.
do?
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, that's cool. I mean, because I get that question a lot. I think for me, like my scariest encounters, for the most part, are generally animals, but not bears. But yeah, everyone always expects that if you work in the parks, you've been in the parks, so you have some crazy story. So I got some questions from Texas. Like one of them is from a girl named Jessie, and she wanted to know how many dead bodies have you
Is
come
she
across?
single?
No, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna show my card. It's okay.
Which I mean, so for everyone out there, Tommy does have two cards,
You
and
know,
they're both awesome. One is like, yeah, is that that's your regular one, right? Like your professional one.
yep.
Okay, that's Tommy's professional one that he has, which is the first one that I received, and then we had like a drink or two together, and then I received the next one, which is his party card. Uh, and I love. Isn't there a picture on the back too of you like in like a grocery store holding up beer or something? There it is in the middle. Yeah,
Holding a 20,
yeah,
24 pack.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. So I mean, if any single ladies are out there and you seem like you maybe think Tommy's your type, which I mean he should be. I mean he's awesome. You got his card. I mean you probably just saw his phone number. Like hit him up. Yeah, yeah, hit him up. Hit him up. Yeah, so she wanted to know how many dead bodies you've come across, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer to that. A lot of people think that park rangers and you work in
Yeah.
the park, you always find someone missing hiker who just got dehydrated 2 miles from the trailhead.
Me personally, no.
Have you had coworkers who've come across dead bodies?
I mean, yeah, I had like law enforcement friends at Rocky and like somebody that like would have to deal with that stuff. But me personally, no, like
Okay,
I didn't have to. So
I'm glad you mentioned that because one of the questions I want to ask you was rangers with guns. Like, what's the difference between like them and your standard park ranger when you enter the gates of the park or you're getting checked into campground? What's the deal with these guys with guns?
so like me, I was like it's called like UVA. I forget what it stands for right now, but
That was your job title. You forget your job.
yeah. So like I worked the booth, like I would welcome you in
Yeah, and you did. I
sometimes.
remember that. You did. I loved it. I remember the moment that you welcomed me in. I really do.
Yeah, I did great,
Honestly, I remember it. Do you remember it? Probably not.
a little bit.
Wow, it's kind of hurtful. But I remember pulling up to the campground, and then you were in the booth there, and first thing you said to me was, "Hey, man, that's a cool hat." I was wearing the Smokey the Bear hat. Don't have it on today,
Ah,
and I was like, "Yeah, man, got to support the parks, do what I can." And I don't remember what you said after that, but I was like, "That guy's cool." Like I just got the vibe that you were cool. Yeah, and then you just showed up
I
when he.
remember you had like several campsites, and I was like, which
Oh
one
yes,
is he? You know,
yeah,
but
that's true. I did. And the guys who are actual like law enforcement, they're carrying guns. What do they do that's different than you?
they get to travel and see the park. I get to sit down and just
Enjoy the booth.
yeah. But like yeah, which is okay. Also, like you still get to see a portion of the park. Like yeah, I get to see all the visitors, which is cool.
Is it though? Do you enjoy seeing all the visitors?
I enjoy seeing some of them. I mean, I still talk to
Yeah.
a fair
I mean,
amount
yeah,
of
we're
them.
talking. We're talking, which is cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So
Um,
the guys with the guns, do they get the same training that like police officers do? Is it kind of like that?
they got to go through like some type of academy, and then yeah, I don't know too much
Okay.
exactly.
But they have the same authority like as police officers do to arrest, take someone
Yeah,
down if they need to.
yeah,
Okay. Have you ever seen that happen?
not yet.
Are you hoping to see it happen?
Eventually, it's gonna happen.
but but yeah, will you like YouTube it for me when it goes down? Like will you like send it to me? And I won't share it with
No,
anybody.
I'll FaceTime you when it happens.
Yeah. I'll be ready,
Like,
man.
yo, Brian, Can you
Yeah,
redo that, man?
yeah. Can you tase him again? Can you tase him again? It'd be awesome. I'd love it. Um, so a question from my nephew, who is way right now into wilderness. He loves Bear Grylls. He loves the idea of being outside. His name's Mason. His question, very simple one, is: do bears come to where you work?
The way I would say it is, people are the ones that are coming to where they live. You know, we're the ones that are visiting.
Wow.
I mean,
Right.
that's their home. We're the ones visiting.
Wow.
But
That's a really good point.
but when I did work in Rocky last year, I did have a black bear. It probably was like a juvenile, you know.
Yeah.
Wasn't that big, but still, it was in my driveway.
Wow. Which, I mean, that could always be scary because the little ones, Mama Bear could be around. So, um, but yeah, I love that point of you saying that we're the ones in their home. That's cool.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, people are scared of bears, but you just try to make noise, try to scare them off. Like the one that I saw in my driveway, it had a tag in it, so like, what that means is it already like got into food, so like
Mm,
they captured it, tagged it. Like if it got like two more of those, it's like three strikes you're out. They put it down. So like that's
really?
why we really tell people to like store your food properly, kind of thing, or else
Wow,
it could be a nuisance. You
yeah,
know.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was like a three-strike thing. Crazy. There's a girl from Texas. Her name is Emily, and she knew you worked in Yosemite, and she wants to know what the most popular thing is that people come to visit.
Everyone wants to see the valley, which is, I mean, it's understandable, but I'm not in the valley, so I mean,
Right.
come to Wawona, you know.
Yeah, well, Wona's what's up?
But
Is
no,
it the
everyone
sign for
wants to
Wawona
see
right here?
like,
This is Wawona.
there you go.
Love it. Yeah. No, I know everyone wants to go to the valley, but in Yosemite, the people who've been there enough times know that that's not the best part, right?
No, like I did Ostrander Lake. That's up on Bridalville Road, and like that lake, it flows into Bridalville Falls. Like that's a 12-mile round trip hike. I did that with another buddy, and when we did it, we saw, I don't know, maybe a handful of hikers, maybe less than 10 other hikers,
Yeah, see, and
and
that's nice, right? I mean, you won't
you
get
get a
that down in the
nice,
valley.
yeah, you get a nice view of like of the valley. Well, sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah. So you would tell the average person, and this is what I do, is the valley's cool and all, but there are other spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then this one's from my sister. My sister's name is Cassie. She wants to know: have you ever gotten lost in a park that you were working in? And I'm sure that you've got stories.
Not really. Mostly because I didn't have a car, you know,
Okay.
so like it
Okay.
was kind of hard to get around.
Yeah.
But well, no, I guess I take that back. One time I was going on a hike with my roommate, and it was actually Ostrander Lake, the one that we were hiking. We went off a little bit because we saw like an opening, and instead of going back to where we like came from, I was like, I think the trail goes up here a little bit,
Yeah.
but that was a lie. So it probably took like 15 minutes to find the trail.
Yeah. I've
So
been there.
basically, stay on the trail,
Yeah, that's good. That's great advice. Don't
or
try
at
to
least
take the
have some
shortcut.
rope to like follow.
Yeah. No, that's good. So you have been lost in Yosemite a little bit. Understandable.
But I wasn't freaked out, you know, like
Right.
I
Well,
had a
because
roommate.
and you and I are professionals, right? I mean,
That's right.
I mean, there's I feel like there's Bear Grylls and then there's us. Just saying. So you kind of live your life where you work seasonally as a park ranger, like give or take 6 months in the park, and then the rest you're traveling, which is kind of like everybody's goal. Um, where was the last place you traveled to, and do you have any cool stories of an experience from where you traveled to?
Like I said, I don't have a car, so my parents came out to California, picked me up. We did a road trip. We were on the road for 3 weeks. From that, I worked at Target as a seasonal employee,
Yeah.
which was awesome. Not really, it was pretty awful. But
You're like,
from
I'm
there,
Ranger Tommy. I report to nobody.
yeah, I switched from green to red, and oh man, wow, that
Yeah.
was that was a nightmare.
Okay. Good to know. So stay green, folks. Stay
I
green.
I thought like I heard dumb questions at the park. Nah, man.
And then Target was a whole other level.
Yeah, it was like, wow.
Yeah. Do you guys sell stuff here? Can I
Do you
buy
work
this?
here? No, it's not like I have a red shirt on with the name tag with the radio.
Yeah, you know what? So I've had that before where I walk into Target wearing like khaki colored pants and a red shirt, and I'm like, oh, dang. And people will ask me questions, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's aisle 17. Whatever. Not my problem. Um,
When I was new, I was just like, it's my first day. Try over there. I would just like make up a number. It's over there, or I'd
okay,
be
the
like,
number
we don't
six.
have it, or let
Yeah.
me go to the back and check if we have it.
And then you
I
never
was a
showed up.
great worker.
Are you that
A
guy?
a half hour later after my lunch, I would show up like, oh, you're still here.
Why do you think, or what do you think causes so many people to go missing or getting hurt or dying in national parks? What causes that?
People aren't prepared.
Good answer.
That's
I love it.
basically it.
Yeah.
I've done moderate hikes or like more difficult hikes that just bring like sunscreen, a bunch of water, like snacks, good durable hiking shoes. I've seen people like wear flip flops, maybe
Oh
a
yeah.
bottle of water, and like
Yep.
that's it.
I know we have those stories. I've seen people do a lot of barefoot nonsense. Um, one like
So
60
it's
pound
like
water bottle to go up Half Dome and back. I've seen like some stupid things. But you would
honestly, I don't feel bad for them. It's like
sure.
you're like a pollution in the park. Like you're not ready. Like get out of here, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I kind of get it because this last summer I was on a trip and I came across a guy who was having heat stroke, obviously heat stroke, but he was way down in Glacier Point, by Illilouette Falls slash the river down there, and so he still had to go all the way back up. And I came across him, and he's a bigger guy, and he was in bad shape. And I tried talking to him; he's very incoherent. Thankfully, a doctor from Sweden showed up, and he asked me what I had done for the guy, and he's like, "Well, that's all you can do." We got self and service, called search and rescue, but we called them, and they said at the time they're like, we can't send anybody out right now. They're like everybody's out. Um, do you think that during the summertime that happens pretty frequently?
I'm sure it's possible. I haven't like noticed that. So
Yeah, but I mean, overall, you would say that a lot of these things can be prevented if people would not underestimate, what Mother Nature can do.
yeah,
Yeah,
basically, like if I go hiking by myself, I'll usually tell someone where I'm going at least,
right.
so they are aware of like where I'm generally at.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's a mistake a lot of people make is they kind of just go off and bad news. Yeah, and I think the other thing too that I've noticed with a lot of people, kind of working in a similar field that you do. I mean, what you do is way more respectable than what I do, but um the thing that I notice from a lot of people is they kind of treat going into the parks and the wilderness as like I'm going into my neighborhood park. That seems to cause a lot of the problems, I feel like. Yeah. Um, okay, Ranger Tommy, I got one last question for you, and answer it however you feel. It's all good. Um, Working with all kinds of people for over a few years, what has it taught you?
You think you can work with anyone? but really you can't. You just gotta like grind and bear it, you know, like
Yeah.
um you do meet a lot of cool people though. You meet people from all over the world. Like I'm still like buddies with like guys from Europe and like people from California still and like, you know, so like
Well, thank you for mentioning my name. I really appreciate that. I was one of them.
not a problem, Chris. Uh doing this job, like, yeah, I feel like some type of honor in it. I remember the first time I gave a junior ranger badge to a girl, like her parents were so proud. She did the whole
Yeah.
pledge.
Yeah.
She did the pledge. Unlike some people, I'm
I,
not
you know,
gonna.
I met someone who they just handed me one. They looked at me and they're like, "You got what it takes." And what can I do? So
I mean, you're recycling, so you know, I'm not complaining.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If a kid, so any kids that are watching, if they want to become a junior ranger, what is that like? What do they have to do?
Got to fill out the book and go to a ranger that has a flat hat and do the pledge.
What is the? Do you know the pledge?
Oh hell no!
So a kid comes
They're
up to you
different
and
at
you're
every
like, "All
park.
right, recite it." Yep, yep. Okay. So you've worked with a lot of people and you've learned stuff from those people. Working with me, what has it taught you?
You're a chill guy.
Wow.
You you got what it takes.
Dang. These are
Think you
some of
could
the
go to
greatest
the green side.
these are some of the greatest things I've ever heard in my life. I'm I love it because I just do. I mean, that's amazing. All right. Well, hey, is there anything else that you want to say? Any other parting stories or parting things you'd like to say to our audience of 4 people?
Well, that's a lot more than three.
I know I did say
Uh,
3, but hey, I'm shooting for that 4th because there's you, there's me, like probably my sister and maybe your brother. That's 4, right? Do you have any parting thoughts? Any words of wisdom? Anything you'd like to say to these 4 people?
if you have any questions for me, add me on Instagram. I'll try to answer them in a non sarcastic way as possible. Uh, but yeah, everyone can make a difference when they go to the parks.
Hmm.
And you can be that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's a difference that someone can make? I mean, what's something small that somebody can do to make a difference?
Uh, there's not a lot of rangers out there. So one could volunteer. Volunteers make a huge difference in the parks, or just be prepared and just clean up after yourself and
Yeah, that's probably huge, huh?
just
Cool, man.
just make sure you're having fun and being safe.
Yeah, that's big time. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time. This was awesome, dude, and I'm so glad that the first episode of this whole thing of Acclimatize with me happened with you. Straight up, love it.
I like that.
This is water. I switched to water because I drove to a second location. Shouldn't be drinking
Yeah, I'm gonna
water.
switch to water too.
Class.
That's water.
To have this interview with you was incredible. So thank you so much.
Not a problem.